Hello, welcome to News Now on TV360. I am Fidelia Agoncha. The Nigerian government has confirmed it is in talks with Boko Haram insurgents to end a 9-year insurgency. The Minister of Information, Lai Mohammed, who disclosed this in a statement on Monday, said the talks were included in a ceasefire agreement which culminated in the release of the Dapchi schoolgirls last Wednesday. Mohammed said the talks began in the negotiations to free the police officers' wives and the University of Maiduguri lecturers. His confirmation comes days after President Muhammadu Buhari offered amnesty to repentant members of the terrorist group. The minister has also revised the list of Dapchi schoolgirls released by the terrorists. Mohammed had initially put the total figure at 104, but in a press statement on Monday morning, the minister said 105 girls were released by the terrorists. He also revised the list of girls initially kidnapped from 110 to 111. This means 6 of the girls are still unaccounted for. Mohammed also reiterated his earlier stance that no ransom was paid for the release of the girls. He also insisted that no Boko Haram prisoner was swapped in exchange for the girls. Meanwhile, the girls have now been reunited with their parents back home in Yobe State. The girls arrived in Dapchi aboard a convoy of 5 buses on Sunday afternoon after being airlifted by the Nigerian Air Force from Abuja to Maiduguri, the Borno State capital. The return of the girls to their community comes after President Muhammadu Buhari and other top government officials received them at the government house in Abuja on Friday. At the meeting with the girls, President Buhari also assured parents of the 113 Chibok schoolgirls still with Boko Haram that government is still working to secure their release. Still on the release of the Dapchi girls, Information Minister Lai Mohammed has again attacked the People's Democratic Party for faulting the release of the girls. The minister in a statement said the party deserves to be deregistered for utter failure both as ruling and opposition party. He specifically berated the party for, quote, disgraceful, insensitive politics that the PDP has been playing with the abduction and release of the Dapchi girls, end of quote. Meanwhile, the People's Democratic Party says it is sorry for the mistakes it made while governing the country. Uche Seconda's national chairman of the party said this on Monday at an event in Abuja. He, however, took a swipe at the APC for running a government of propaganda. Secondus accused the federal government of failing to contain the Boko Haram insurgency. Ahead of the 2019 general election, the PDP chairman also said politicians should not come to the party secretariat in Abuja for any hidden agenda. Former President Goodluck Jonathan has alleged that there is a campaign to tarnish his reputation. Jonathan, who is currently monitoring the presidential runoff election in Sierra Leone, said he has been informed that faceless and identified persons have launched a campaign to discredit him. The claims comes less than a week after Vice President Yemi Osinbajo accused the ex-president of embezzling and mismanaging public funds. Jonathan, who denied these allegations, however, maintained that despite the efforts of his accusers, he will be vindicated in due time. The Islamic movement in Nigeria, IMN, has called on the federal government to release their leader, Ibrahim El-Zakzaky. The group marched through the Eagle Square to the National Assembly in Abuja, chanting songs and displaying different placards. El-Zakzaky has been in government detention since December 2015, following a confrontation between members of his group and the Chief of Army Staff, Tukur Buratai. The federal government has ruled against his continued detention without trial, but he is yet to be released by the DSS.
We can never take arms to start killing innocent people in this country. We never do that. But they should know that we'll never take it easy with them. We are ready to die for the health of our leader. And they should take serious action. That is what we are calling on them to. We are calling on President Muhammadu Buhari, tyrant Muhammadu Buhari, and law and order to quickly and unconditionally free our leader so that he will go for medical treatment, because his health status is very critical. Right now, as I'm talking to you, he can't even pray. He can't even wake up. He has so many bullets on his tummy. You can see some pictures in the internet during December 2015, where they shot him, they tied him with something like this. Blood is flowing. The bullet, those bullets were still inside. Still, he has some pieces of irons inside his eye. That is why the left eye is already blind, and the other one is at the verge, but they don't want to take him for medical treatment. Those the masses are keeping silent. The government wants us to pick arm and start killing people because that is the only place, the only way they can embezzle the resources of this country.
Kayode Odukoya, Managing Director of First Nation Airlines, has been granted bail by an Ikeja Special Offences Court in Lagos for 10 million naira. Odukoya is being arraigned by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) on a 4-count charge of forgery, use of false documents, perjury, and stealing. He has pleaded not guilty to the charges, which relate to a 1.7 billion naira theft. According to the EFCC, Odukoya committed the offences of forgery, use of false document, and perjury on March 21, 2013. It's alleged that the accused forged the Memorandum of Loss of Lagos State Certificate of Occupancy registered at number 33 at page 33, volume 1011 at the Lagos State Land Registry, Alausa, Lagos, in order that the document is acted upon as genuine. The forged document was in respect of a property located at number 29 Oduduwa Street, Ikeja GRA, Lagos. Lawmaker representing Kogi West Senatorial District, Dino Malayi, says his life is under threat. Malayi, in a petition to the Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris, as well as other international community, alleged that his political opponents, in partnership with men of the Kogi State Police Command, have planned to murder him. He urged the police boss to raise a neutral police team to investigate the allegations of gun running being leveled against him by the Kogi State Police Command, allegedly in conspiracy with the Kogi State government. Also included in the petition are the US, UK, Amnesty International, Transparency International, and the Human Rights Watch, among others. Meanwhile, the Kogi State government has replied to the accusations of the senator. The governor, who was reacting in a statement signed through his spokesperson, denied all the accusations leveled against him by Malayi. He advised the senator to visit the police and narrate his own side of the story. The federal government says it has recovered over 143.89 billion naira through the implementation of the whistleblower policy. This was contained in a report by the Presidential Initiative on Continuous Audit, PICA. The report showed that government had successfully recovered 7.8 billion naira, $378 million, and 27,800 euros. It said since the policy was introduced in 2016 to fight financial crimes and corruption, PICA has received 8,373 tips. Of that number, 1,231 tips were said to have been on financial crime.
People to get only 10 people to register to vote, 10 new voters. Each of us standing here today, when you get back home, when you get to your place of work, your school, try and get 10 new people that do not have their PVC to register to vote. We're going to take on our website onevoice.ng, onevoice.ng. Please go there, give us the information. If you get 10 people to vote, then you're amongst us.
So at least start with your voter's card and begin to use that to bargain about the type of person you want to see on February 16, 2019 and March 2nd on the ballot paper.
So we want to focus on people who haven't voted before. It's 100,000 people who are looking to pledge that because that gives us a minimum of 1 million new voters.
Instead of to say, my vote no go count now. Try vote first, so you see whether it will count, you know.
Corruption not in my country.
That was a very good business. Yeah. The furniture you brought was very perfect.
That's how we roll.
Because let me do you receipts.
Yeah. How much of it again?
1 million naira.
Okay, write 2.5.
Mbano. The deal was for 1 million naira now.
Okay, write 3 million. I'll give you 500.
Oh no, I doesn't do business like, like that now. Yeah.
In that case, give me back my check. Let me go and look for someone that understand business.
Take.
Your loss. Rubbish.
Man, it is only for incorruptible customers. What are you talking?
Now get out.
What kind of this?
You will just die.
No,
You will die.
That is the door. Now get out from here.
Rubbish.
Look, my people, make una only add money for original invoice price. That's not corruption. Say no, not in my country.
Corruption not in my country.
Glad to have you back. Moving on to the world of business. President Muhammadu Buhari on Monday inaugurated the National Food Security Council. The inauguration took place inside the council chambers of the Aso Rock Presidential Villa in Abuja. The council, chaired by the president himself, has governors of Kebbi, Taraba, Plateau, Lagos, Ebonyi, and Delta states as members. The council's objectives include developing sustainable solutions to the farmers-herders clashes, piracy and banditry, agricultural research institutions and extension services, and the problem of smuggling. 3 unions in the aviation sector have issued a 14-day ultimatum to the federal government to pay pensions and entitlements of 6,000 workers of the defunct Nigerian Airways Limited. The unions are National Association of Aircraft Pilots and Engineers, the National Union of Air Transport Employees, and the Air Transport Senior Staff Services Association of Nigeria. They are protesting against the delay in payment of 45 billion naira approved by the federal government for the ex-workers' pension and other entitlements. Oil prices dipped on Monday as concerns of a looming trade dispute between the United States and China weighed on global markets. U.S. crude were at $65.49 a barrel, down by 39 cents, while Brent crude were at $70.18 a barrel, down by 27 cents. In Asia, Shanghai crude oil futures debuted strongly, both in terms of volume and prices, with front-month contracts soaring as much as 6% as investors bought into the world's newest financial oil trading instrument. The fall comes after U.S. President Donald Trump last week signed a memorandum that could impose tariffs on up to $60 billion of imports from China. Moving on to the international scene now, the United States and its European allies are expelling dozens of Russian diplomats in a coordinated response to the poisoning of a former Russian spy in the UK. US President Donald Trump has ordered 60 Russian diplomats to leave the country. Germany, France, Ukraine, Canada, and various European countries have also expelled envoys. Russia calls the moves a provocative gesture and vowed to retaliate. Russia denies any role in the attack on Sergei Skripal and his daughter Yulia in Salisbury, southern England. The pair remain in critical but stable condition in the hospital. Egyptians voted on Monday in a presidential election set to deliver an easy win for incumbent Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, with turnout the main focus after all serious opposition withdrew, complaining of repression. Sisi has urged Egyptians to vote, hinting that he sees the election as a referendum on his rule rather than a serious democratic contest. Polling stations will be open for 3 days in an apparent effort to garner as many votes as possible for him. Many Egyptians, as well as the country's Arab and Western allies, including Washington, sees Sisi as vital to stability, as unrest since 2011 has hurt the economy. However, his critics say he has presided over Egypt's worst crackdown on dissent and described the vote as a charade. Moving on to sports now, Nigeria's coach Gernot Rohr has stated that the team will continue to work hard to win games despite the insinuations that it could send a false World Cup alarm. On Friday, the 3-time African champions defeated highly rated Poland 1-0 at the Municipal Stadium. Victor Moses' second-half goal was all that was needed to nick another famous victory just months after shocking Argentina 4-2 defeat in a warm-up match. The Super Eagles will continue their preparation with another friendly tie with Serbia at the Hive Stadium in London on Tuesday evening. Blessing Okagbari announced her return to top form at the weekend with a blistering 22.4 seconds run at the 2018 West Kitley Invitational in Texas. She broke the 200-meter women African record held by Mary Onyali Omagbemi since August 1996. The 2013 IAAF World Championship double medalist will now shift her focus to the Commonwealth Games in Gold Coast, Australia. She strives to become the first woman to successfully defend a 100 and 200-meter sprint double. Andy Murray is back on court following hip surgery in early January. The former world number one has started hitting balls again in the south of France as he eyes a return to competitive action in time for the grass court campaign. The 30-year-old is training at the academy of Serena Williams coach Patrick Moulagotoglu in Nice. The Scotsman could be back on court for a competitive match at the end of May. Well, that's it on News Now. Thanks for watching. I am Fidelia Aguncha.